hallucinations. Since it's Halloween, I thought it'd be cool if I did a video on an interesting but creepy topic, group hallucinations. Now, I know a lot of people actually believe in the idea of group hallucinations, but I personally never have, ever, even before I was religious. I still didn't believe in them. So without further ado, let's get into them. The way most people agree a group hallucination works is that a group of people, that being more than two, experience the same hallucination. To get a little deeper into this, a hallucination itself is something that we know is not real. I know that's not exactly a definition, but I'll get to that later. How do we know this? This is because in the real world, we agree in most cases things are based on, what people can see. Consistency, for example. Consistency in viewing, to be specific. For example, we all agree I have dark skin. We all agree I have curly hair. We all agree that cars exist. Those are some examples. So for something to be a hallucination, a basic factor is that it's not visible to another person, or the human eye. Now, to clarify something before we continue, there are hallucinations and illusions. An illusion would be me seeing someone who is 5'4", like they are 6 foot, which would probably be due to me looking at them from a distance, which would be weird anyway because I'm quite taller than someone who's 5'4", so for me to make that mistake in general is kind of weird, but you get the point. By definition, an illusion is a misrepresentation of a real sensory stimulus that is an interpretation that contradicts objective reality as defined by general agreement. For me to think that a person is 6 foot, that would be my mind mistaking that person to be taller or bigger, most likely because of maybe what they're wearing, the distance, like I said before, or another factor. Maybe I'm sitting down. A more common example that people will call illusions but probably aren't are things like Bigfoot. They are more likely to have seen animals in the dark moving fast or just in general out of distortion than to have actually seen Bigfoot. The effect of light on an object, insufficient sensory information about an object, or errors in an individual's process of sensory details is what causes illusions in the first place. And just a reminder, illusions are real things. They're just real things that are misrepresented. So for example, magic tricks. Real things. They're on the physical plane of existence. We can see them. It's just that we're not seeing them from the correct angle. We're seeing them from, in this case, the magician's point of view that he wants us to see them from, so that it looks like magic, but it really isn't. A hallucination is defined as a sensory experience or experiences that appear to be real but are created by your mind. The key word to focus on is by your mind. They can affect all 5 of your senses. This means things like bugs being on your hand or someone else's hand that aren't actually there. This would be confirmed by the person not seeing the bugs in the hand, etc., etc. It could be something as simple as that, or seeing a lion move its mouth like a human, in the manner of a human, and speaking in human tongue, that being English. The two situations that hallucinations happen in are bodily deprived or deprived humans. So for example, your loss of sleep, your loss of energy, thirst, stuff like that, or drugs. A better example to summarize it is that an illusion is a misleading image presented, while a hallucination is just your mind making up something that doesn't exist at all. Something else to mention is that there are special cases you can consider group, quote-unquote, group hallucinations. Those being, for example, seeing a mirage, not like an oasis when you're thirsty, but like, for example, water in the middle of the road when it's a hot day. You drive close to the water, it's no longer there. Or, better example, a rainbow. A lot of people can see a rainbow. Now, do they see the same rainbow? Does the rainbow look the same across the spectrum of different people's eyes? Probably not, but everyone agrees they see a rainbow. That would be what you consider a group hallucination, but they are still not all seeing the same thing, based on the fact that simply our minds are just all different. Moving on to the final part of the video, telling the difference and disproving group hallucinations. An example of what people would call a group hallucination is 3 people in a haunted house fabled to have a witch. If 2 people see it and one doesn't, those 2 people have experienced a hallucination. This is because one person saw nothing entirely, while the other 2 saw a witch. They both did hallucinate, but they did not have the same hallucination. One could have saw an entirely different witch than the other. One could have saw a green witch, one could have saw a blue witch. What might happen is they come to agree they saw a witch, without going into specifics on the witch herself. If all 3 of them had seen the witch, the situation would be different. There are 2 possible scenarios in that specific case. 1, they all did see something, most likely not a witch, but possibly a shadow or a person or even an animal. This means something was there. The second possibility, there was nothing at all. End of the day, circumstances do help decide what is and what isn't a group hallucination, and you can't always tell because at the end of the day, someone could have just not seen anything. Maybe they blinked at the wrong time. Maybe they hallucinated. Maybe their own hallucination was that they didn't see anything at all when there was actually something there. End of the day, that's just my opinion on why I don't think group hallucinations, at least the base idea of group hallucinations, exist. Side note, it wasn't a hallucination or a group hallucination. You all saw what you saw, and it's real. Scary, but true. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you disagree with me at all, let me know in the comments. I'm really happy to debate. That's one of my favorite things to do. That's why I started this channel. So, yeah, until then, keep clashing, and happy Halloween, guys. God bless.